Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? Welcome to Tuesday Night Gaming Chat, where we talk about all the latest gaming news and reviews from the last 7 days or so. I'm your host, Middle-Aged Gamer Guy, but you can call me Mags. And for the first time ever, we are broadcasting to YouTube. So I'm going to say hello to everyone who's here tonight. So we're on Twitch and YouTube. Danka is on over at YouTube. Hi, Danka. How you doing? Jenny, how you doing? Lovely to see you. Phantom, good evening. Flame, how you doing? Retro Sheza, hello, welcome on YouTube. First time here. Flame's also watching YouTube. He's watching on both. Isn't that going to get confusing? Or have you got one in one ear, one in the other? I don't know how it works, but there you go. Great to see you all. Danka says YouTube will have its advantages as you can live pause, unlike Twitch. Ooh, fancy. Phantom is playing Sea of Thieves. Hope you're having some good games. Jay said, whoop, whoop. Wrong ticker bar. Did I press the wrong thing? Probably. I showed Dave's. Oh, well, never mind. I'll show mine when Dave appears. There you go. Evening, Ems. How you doing? Great to see you. I am busy AF, but had to come and see you and the gang. I hope you are well, Jenny. Hope you are well. We have got lots to talk about. Lots of big games that came out. Some that are well overdue to landing on some platforms and some that are like slight remasters that we are talking about. But obviously, I can't do that by myself. And if I'm going to intro him, I might as well put the wrong name tag up for him as well. Please give it up for the co-host who knows the most. It's the one and only Mr. David Jones.
Good evening, mate. How you doing?
Hello. There you go.
I better start plugging next year's time, just then, haven't I?
Oh, God, no. Look.
No, we're all fed up of that crap now.
No, I'm not.
Give it a couple of months.
Give it a month. We started planning it the next morning after we finished it. Timeless is we've already had about 4 meetings, but we're not talking about that. That's something that happens at another point of day. There you go. Evening, everyone. Jenny says there he is. How are you, Dave? What have you been up to?
I'm doing all right, mate. I've just been doing usual stuff, working, bit of mattress shopping because we need a new mattress at home. The old one's far too long, so we had, I won't say fun, but we went to a couple of shops, looked around, tried a few, did pick one, so it's successful. But, apart from, those wild times, I've managed to fit some gaming around it.
All the exciting lives us gamers.
Oh, yeah. Fucking hell.
It's crazy.
That's where it's getting a bit boring as you get older. With other stuff you have to do. It ain't that thrilling. Thank God for gaming.
Oh, dear. It's absolutely crazy. So I like this because we can see both chats now, and then people are actually talking to each other on different chats, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
There you go. iQuell, good evening. iQuell is our community member of the month. He was voted by a wonderful, by you in chat. So congratulations. You will get a shout out every time. I will actually give you a shout out because you are one of our moderators. So it'd be a bit odd if, there you go. I'll do that. Jenny says, are all the cool kids over on YouTube? They're either on YouTube or Twitch. So there you go. But it's all good. So what have you been playing, Dave, when you haven't been mattress shopping?
I managed to play a bit of Gears of War Reloaded co-op Sunday, but I'll talk more about that shortly. Finished off Sword of the Sea, which is that one we did talk about last week. It's on PS Plus. Only a short game, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you've played Journey or Pathless or any of their other games before, it's a nice sort of vibey game. You just sort of kind of flow through the world, solve a few puzzles, listen to some cool music. A nice little game. Nice sort of palate cleanser in between bigger, longer ones. So I finished that off, and then I've jumped into Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater.
Yes.
I've played quite a lot of that. I think I'm fairly far through it. Generally, you got a copy as well. Nice. Getting through it. I don't know how much I've got left, but it feels like I'm sort of heading towards the end. I've got through quite a lot of the bosses along the way, only one of which caused me a few problems. Some of that just down to the controls. It's one of those cover systems where you have to walk up to the wall and you stick to it. And sometimes you don't realise you're sticking to it and you just want to go around the wall. So I've got caught out, and I think when I thought I could go round and get a guard, I've ended up alerting him. Then I've had to run away and hide and just, re-sneak on my phone for like 2 minutes waiting for the timers to count down. That's it multiple times. Still catch one on the news while I'm waiting for the timers to stop. So it's all right.
Yeah,
I am really liking it.
Yeah, I played it. We were streaming it last night. And yeah, obviously there's a lot of story. Being a Kojima game, there's a lot of story.
Oh, especially at the beginning. Yeah, you are watching way more than you are playing.
Yeah, playing. But I think we managed to get literally to the second mission. It took up 3 hours of the stream because, it's that. Are we playing games tonight? No, Falco. This is Tuesday Night Gaming Chat, where we talk about all the latest gaming news and reviews We're going to be talking about the new. Well, actually, I'll tell you what we're talking about in a little bit because I always do that bit of thing. I'll tell you what I've been playing and completing because it was a handful of games because it was my last full weekend off for like nearly 2 months because things are so crazy for the next 2 months. I'd forgotten I hadn't finished the last Star Wars Outlaws DLC, and it's actually a 1 year anniversary of Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh yeah.
So I completed that, so that game is done. Obviously, it comes out on the Switch 2 later this month. And for anyone who's interested, we will be giving away a copy of Star Wars Outlaws on Switch 2, courtesy of Ubisoft. Later this month, we'll let you know when we have more details.
Was that DLC any good? The first one I heard was average, wasn't it? If I recall.
The first one was average, but I think it's because it was very different because it was more sort of spy orientated. I actually preferred the first one to the second one because the second one I thought was just okay. Wildcard was all right, but I kind of like the thing that you were gambling and doing other stuff. So it almost felt like you were kind of playing Hitman in a way, and then integrating with the crowds and getting to know people and finding out information. And then, but yeah, that was all right. We put Mafia: The Old Country to bed, and I will say it's good, but it is the weakest of the Mafia games out of all four.
Okay.
And bearing in mind, a lot of people didn't like the third one, and I did. I still think it's a lot weaker when you compare it to the third one, but it's still a good game. So I'd say wait until it's on sale and try it. Don't pay full price for it. It's good, but it's too linear to a fault. And I finished a game that nearly made me rage, but not quite. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago. So finished that. Really enjoyed that. And there's more playability going back through because you can actually change the ending on that one as well. So I might go back and go through some levels and it'll just get me ready for when I play the new Shinobi tomorrow. So so finished some off, got some off the backlog, but not all. But there you go. There you go. Anyway, shall we bring in... actually, before we do that, opinion may change when the free drive update comes out. Yeah, it might get better. Apparently, they're going to add a load of free content to Mafia, which is actually going to open up the open world. So if they do that and they add more stuff to it, it might make it slightly better. But we'll see.
If they don't add anything extra to it, it'll just be a pointless mode because you'll just be driving around an empty world. You can check out the sites. That's about it.
Mind's Eye springs to mind. Yes, an open world thing where there is nothing to do in it. Mind's Eye, fantastic. Still really didn't like that game. Anyway, good to see you, Circus. Welcome on in. Welcome in, everyone. Now, our guest tonight is an award-winning TEDx speaker. He's an NLP trainer, and he's one of the reasons that we have TEDx Northern Quarter, which is taking place this very Monday up in Manchester, as well as working with many gaming companies and helping them work better together and get their leaders working better for them as well. Please welcome this guy that I've known probably 2 years now, and I get to see him at lots of gaming events. He's an absolute gent. Please welcome Mr. Andy Coley. Woo. Hello.
Evening.
Good evening. How you doing?
How you doing?
I feel like I should have walk-on music after that intro. So.
Wait on.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, very well. Andy, your first time on the show. Thank you so much for being here. Great to see you.
I'm going to be honest, it's only about my second time on Twitch as well. So it's not a place I hang out very regularly. So
I know. And I invited Andy. I was quite a while back originally, Andy was just like, flipping hell, your show's on late. I'm not sure I could do this. But he was like, actually...
I've come on to talk about mattresses with Dave, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. So welcome to Tuesday Night Mattress Talk.
Plenty of choice out there.
We're going to rate our favourite mattress shops. Here we go. Jenny says, how did you persuade such a good guest to come on?
I'm just here for the banter, to be honest, Jenny.
Yeah. He's great. Andy's great. We've met at numerous events. Obviously, even though it's gone, WASD last year, we met at numerous of Simran's events.
Format group events,
yeah, with all the format group stuff, and obviously we are going to talk about TEDx Northern Quarter a little bit later on the show, so people can see what to expect and if they tune in watching, and also buy tickets. There's literally 9 tickets left. I can't believe there's 9 tickets.
There are not many.
Yeah, if you want to get a ticket, like, get it now because it's on Monday. But let's talk about what you do, because I'm going to bring up your website, because one of your main areas is game studio training. So obviously you're an NLP practitioner. So tell people, if they're not familiar, what that is, and then how that led into you working with all these big gaming companies, because you've worked with some very big gaming companies, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. So NLP in my world, because it has a couple of different meanings, but in my world, it means neuro-linguistic programming, which is a really posh way of saying it's basically the study of what makes you you. Basically, how do you create your version of the world? How does that come out through the language that you use, through your body language? How do you get into those patterns and programs and beliefs? And so it's a study of basically what makes you you. And of course, we all have a unique perspective on the world. We all have a unique viewpoint. And so NLP for me was all about, first of all, understanding myself, and I guess upping my own emotional intelligence about why do I behave, how I behave, what do I do about it, what are my trigger points. And then ultimately down the line, when I became an NLP trainer back in 2012 now, so over 13 years ago, it was really, I had a passion for helping other people to understand themselves and teams. And I've got a tech background. I'm a former web developer. I've worked in places like IBM and Goldman Sachs, and done lots of kind of back end IT. Sat in the dark room with pizza boxes and Coke, plugging away till the early hours, getting query scripts running on websites, all that kind of stuff. And then when I went through a big life change myself and actually got a lot of coaching and a lot of support, I wanted to kind of what's the job I really want to do for the rest of my life? And that's when I found out about NLP and the power of coaching and helping people to change their minds and understand themselves and other people better. And how did I get into the field of gaming? Well, interestingly, about 4 years ago, might be 5 years ago, I got an email from Ubisoft, because they'd gone through this slightly minor thing of having to sack all their CEOs at various locations for various bits of misconduct. We won't dive down too much because that's been in the press recently again. But basically, they did a big study of their team, and they did like a bit of a needs analysis. Like, what do you need as a team? And one of the things that came out of that was they wanted to feel safer in interactions with players. Because, of course, they've got massive community teams, they've got marketing teams, they've got esports teams, they've got teams that go to all the big shows, as were running at the time. There's far fewer now. But basically, they wanted to help their team members feel safer. And one of the things that I do is help people with professional boundaries. And going, talking about parasocial relationships, where somebody goes, "Oh my God, you developed this game. You are like the god, the guru of whatever the game is," and they hang around with you. They want to know everything about you. They're trying to get information about the next DLC or the next update or the next thing, and be like, "God, mate, this is my job. Like, I do this stuff. I really love it, but I also want to go home and switch off. I don't need you hassling me because you're seeing my Ubisoft cap on the back, on the bus as I'm traveling back and forth in Newcastle." So I kind of got involved with the games world. I took about 300 people through a big training program, supporting their team members to do that. And then I went along to a develop down in Brighton, just one day, and then really got to find out about a lot more about the games industry and what happened. And then I created the brand Game Studio Training, which is what you see here. And Game Studio Training is basically an aspect of what I do, but very tailored towards the games industry. And since then, I've worked with Wushu Studios, running a management development program. I've worked with Lucid. I've worked with Supermassive Games. I've worked with Lo-Fi Games down in Bristol. More that I can't tell you about. I'm working with just starting to do some stuff with Rare and Microsoft.
Sweet. Okay.
I've done stuff with Meta. So basically, because like most people within an organization, you're kind of expected to get on with it, like to know how to do this stuff, to know how to coach and encourage people to have difficult conversations, and to do like leadership-y type things. And so ultimately, that's kind of led me, down the line. I wrote a book that came out at the beginning of the year, which is all around leadership. And that's the sort of stuff that I do. But very specifically with game studios, working with devs, working with art teams, working with people to go, right, how can you work at your best? And how can you work at your best in an environment there is a perception of lots of pressure, where hopefully you're in a place where there isn't too much crunch, but what can you do to be at your best? And then I've worked lots with Yuki and Game Republic, and I'm a big supporter of people like Special Effect, as you see on there. So I basically just sort of run stuff that help people make games, and help them feel better about the games that they're making in terms of the teams that they're working with as well. So that's a big part of what I do.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you just mentioned, I'm going to just take this off screen because I'm going to bring something else up on screen. You launched your new book, didn't you?
I did.
Your book, and it was back in February. I think in Soho in London, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I've got a friend of mine who runs a bar in Soho called the Phoenix Arts Club. He lent me the bar for a couple of hours so we could have a book launch. So I call the book Leadership as a Skill.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
We got it Amazon #1 bestseller, which is awesome as well. Leadership talks and working and to support leaders is a massive part of what I do. The book is basically a sort of combination of all of that stuff. You can get it on Kindle. You can get it from me if you go to leadershipasaskill.com, this website here, and I'll sign it and send it to you in the post. It's for me, it's all about supporting leaders. Some of the stats that I share in the book, like 82% of leaders in the workplace have never had any formal leadership training. 82% have never had any leadership training.
Yeah.
More than half the people have left their job role because their manager sucked.
Yeah.
And most people don't trust the manager. Like less than 20% of people in the workplace actually trust the manager. And if this is a person you're supposed to be able to go to get feedback, to help you with your career, no wonder people really feel like they're struggling, both as the leader who are feeling out of their depth because they've never had the skill to be able to, never had the training to be able to gain the skill. And because people that are working for them, maybe they feel like they're being micromanaged. I'm sure we've all experienced that. Maybe you've got a manager who's so they're so trusting of you that you never see them. But it also means you probably never get a performance review. You never get a salary increase because nobody really knows what you do. So much of the time when I was out running workshops and giving talks, most of the time the leaders were going, "Oh, I wish my team could," and the teams were going, "Oh, I wish my leader would." And this is why I wrote the book, to kind of bridge that gap so that people get to understand each other better.
There you go. Now, you're also, we'll come on to this in a bit, but we're going to lead into this a little bit later on, just after 10 o'clock. The fact that you are also a TEDx speaker. In fact, you're an award-winning TEDx speaker. And then that has led for you to go and help basically create this new TEDx event, which takes place on Monday.
Yeah.
And we will talk more about that a little bit later on. But if anyone wants to check out the book, the links are now in the chat. The mods are also putting the links for Andy's website, Andy's book, and the TEDx event. So if you can't wait till 10 o'clock and you want to get a ticket now, you can literally buy a ticket now, and we'll go through the lineup and everything right now. But
honestly, go and get the spoilers. It's an awesome, creative, gaming focused lineup as well. At least half the people there are in that kind of creative streaming online. We'll come on to that later, but we've got some really good speakers.
It's a really good lineup. Really good lineup, and I've had to apologize to Andy because Andy and Simran very kindly invited me to the event and I can't be there, which is so annoying. So I'm going to be jealous that I'm not there watching it, but it is amazing. If you can get to it, please do go check it out. So let's crack on with the show, ladies and gentlemen. We have got, because this is our 232nd show, believe it or not, nearly coming up to our 5-year anniversary. We have got 8 brand new games that have been out in the last 7 days or so, plus all the latest gaming news. Some of the games we're going to be talking about are Gears of War Reloaded. We've got Helldivers 2, which has landed on Xbox after a successful PlayStation and PC launch last year. We've also got the Kirby remaster coming to Switch 2. And we've got a game that did get delayed and has now basically finally come out, Lost Soul Aside. But is it going to be one of those big AAA hits or not? We will have to see. Jenny says, I have just bought the book. Amazing.
Thanks, Jenny.
Jenny, that is fantastic. That is greatly appreciated. That is awesome. So there you go. Look, things happen. It's great. It's great. All the links are there. And I'll keep dropping the links for the book and other stuff as well. So do click on the links. Go check out Andy's site and his book if you're interested. And go check out the TEDx lineup. But let's crack on with our first game, which is technically not a new game. It's a second remaster in a way, because this game is over 20 years old. We got an Ultimate Edition of this game 10 years ago. And now, because Microsoft is now putting more games onto PlayStation, it gets another facelift, but it also lands on PS5. This came out last Tuesday on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC, and you can get it on Game Pass. Here is the trailer for Gears of War Reloaded.
Trouble for doing this.
Not anymore. Things have changed. Welcome back to the Army, soldier.
It's game time, baby!
You think you can still find your way back home, Phoenix?
Looks like they upgraded. Nausea, baby! Let's do this. This is gonna be awesome. Form up!
There you go. It seems weird talking about Gears of War now on PlayStation, but it's finally here, and it's an absolute classic, isn't it, Dave?
Oh yeah, I remember playing this back in the day on the original 360. It was a seriously good game. Thoroughly enjoyed it then. Did play through I think it was the Ultimate Edition last year.
Oh, right. Okay, the one that came out 10 years ago.
Yeah, played that one last year, and that was still pretty good. And it looks like this, second remaster is just building on what they did for the Ultimate Edition, because a lot of it really just looks the same. Just improved textures and lighting, improved the skybox and stuff like that, just to make it look even prettier. So it's still the same game that you know and love, but it just looks nicer, much nicer. Runs well, and they've even brought across the multiplayer, which is nice. Because a lot of remasters we see tend to skip the multiplayer.
Yeah.
You end up paying quite a lot for the package. It doesn't even include that. Because I know there's ones in the past I wish they put the multiplayer in. So it's nice to have that here, especially with all the other sort of multiplayer games you get these days. This feels a bit more like a bit of a back to basics one. You just go in, have fun, no microtransactions or skins or any of that sort of crap. Just get in there and cut people to pieces with your Lancer chainsaw. Good, clean fun. But yeah, I enjoy what I've played of it, so I'm going to carry on. Doing a bit more co-op over the next few weekends, I think, get back through it again. But yeah, worth playing and nice for PlayStation.
Can you play with the previous versions, or is it only a reloaded versus reloaded?
I think it'll just be reloaded versus reloaded, but you've got it across all platforms, across PlayStation, Xbox, PC, can all play together. So which is pretty good. So it's nice. PlayStation got a chance to play it, but Microsoft's exclusives are slowly going down. I think Halo is the last bastion of Microsoft exclusives, and I can't see that remade as an exclusive at all.
They dropped Psychonauts 2 on PS Plus as well, which was a great game. So that's even like they've hardly got any things left to give.
Yeah,
but
Microsoft are a third-party publisher, no question about it.
Yeah, but
I'll tell you what, cross-platform is an interesting thing, isn't it? I remember when I was in my early 20s, we used to basically take 4 hours to set up the LAN network with token SIM cards, with our PCs around everyone's houses trying to set up IP addresses, because we just take and then get to play Quake and Doom, Duke Nukem. And these days, I mean, cross-platform was a dream. So
it's great. And the thing is, I was going to say also, because something else that's kind of died out, which you don't see much, is this is one of those games that used to have couch co-op, and they've kept that in, which is great because hardly anyone does couch co-op games anymore. And that's another great thing. You get a friend round for an afternoon. Me and Dave actually played through a lot of the Gears of Wars back at my old house, going like back in.
We did
like
2 and 3, didn't we? Last time.
Yeah, we did 2 and 3, like 2006 and like that. And sitting there playing like an afternoon, order some pizzas and play. And that's like something else that's died out. But like they've brought that back, and I think that's a nice touch.
Yeah, and if you've got big enough telly, then it's almost like you've got your own screen anyway. So exactly. with that kind of and I like the way it was horizontal rather than the sort of portrait size, so that actually you get to see the the width of what you're looking at, rather than being squeezed into, you know, two halves of the screen, left or right.
Andy, your thoughts on Gears of War? Have you played the original, or I'm guessing you've probably not played this version, but did you?
No, I haven't played the original or any of the remastered stuff, to be honest. But it's one of the games that we're listening to this evening or watching this evening that I've actually heard of. So that's a good start. I think now I'm going to caveat this to everybody watching, because you're like, who's this bloke they've turned on to talk about games? It's not a lot about games. I did say this to Mags in the first place, that I've kind of skipped a while. I've been having children and, you know, working too much over the last 10, 15 years. So I think the last PlayStation I had was a PS3. So
that's all right. I honestly think there's still games in you go, oh yeah, I have heard of that. I think you're just lucky because the way it's landed, there's quite a few here that you might go, oh yeah, I've heard of that. And so I think we've been kind to Andy, because we didn't want to throw him at the deep end, and like next week where it's nothing but like all brand new games, IPs that no one's heard of yet. So I didn't want to do that to you. So I think we've been kind.
I am playing some new games, you know. It's just I get stuck on something and it just it infuriates me, and then I never move on to the next one. I'm still playing Children of the Sun at the moment that I saw at WAS from last year. That I loved playing the demo of at there, but I just like stuck 3 levels from the end and I can't get past it. No matter how many times I watch a YouTube to try and solve it, I can't get past it, and then that kind of like stops me from getting on to the next thing. I'm a starter finisher when it comes to a game.
I have to. Well, yeah. That log. I'm not even going to talk about the amount of games I get sent, and then I'm like, oh god, I've got so much.
My backlog's just embarrassing. It will never get completed.
No.
There's too many in there now.
They'll probably bury the day I die. They'll probably bury me with all the games I haven't completed. So there you go. Jenny says Resistance 3 on the PS3 is still my all-time fave. Danka says, remember the time Sony experimented with that TV that showed 2 different full screens designed for couch play? Yeah, I do remember that. Did it ever actually become a thing though, or not? The backlog pain syndrome. It is. Well, look, folks. For those who've not seen the show before, and for Andy as well, we don't technically review the games. I scour the internet and find all the reviews I can find, and we turn that into an average score. You may agree with that average score, you may not, but it is just a bit of fun. I've also forgot to turn the chat on again for the second week, so I've just turned it on there, so it will also appear on the screen. Did that last week, finished the show, and I was like, oh, didn't put the screen on the chat, but or the chat on the screen, anyway. So you can basically guess the score anywhere from 0 to 10, and you can have 0.5s as well. We don't do quarters because it just throws everything out. Want to say hello to Sophie, because I know Sophie popped in earlier. Hopefully she's still here. Danka's the first person to put a score. Danka reckons this got an 8 out of 10. Jenny says an 8.5 out of 10. So get your scores in chat. If you get it right, we will give you a shout out for your channel. So we'll basically plug your channel for free. So there you go. Retro Shezza says 7.5. Nice. iQuail, 8.5. Flame says 7. Get those scores in chat. Dave, I'll start with you. What do you reckon this got?
I'm going to try an 8.5.
Go for an 8.5. Okay. Andy, what do you think?
I'm reckoning 8.5 because I think they've kept a lot of the good stuff in from what you're talking about, and they've got a lot of options in. They've not stripped it down. I think they've kept it. So I reckon a good 8.5.
Okay, go for an 8.5. Folks, get the scores in chat if you want to know this. We are talking about Gears of War Reloaded, which came out last Tuesday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and you can play it on Game Pass as well for free. If there are no more scores in that chat, I can tell you that this got a very good, but not quite what some of you said, 8 out of 10 on average. So very close. Okay. I know quite a few companies were 8.5, nothing higher than that, and some were just under like 7.5s because some were a bit like, oh, well, it's still got that grey look and blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of the point of the game. It's supposed to be all grim and horrible. You're in a war. It's not supposed to look pretty, is it? But yeah, generally, feedback was pretty good. And only a few little bugs on launch and nothing that was game breaking as well. So it's pretty good. But yeah, 8 out of 10. Did anyone actually get that right? I'm going to say.
Yeah, Danka's Time TV capsule did.
Yes, Danka did. Well done, Danka. Yeah, you got on it. So we can get a shout out for Danka, please. Now I wonder how shout outs are going to work on YouTube. I have no idea. Well, actually, it'll work and we'll still show it on the screen. So we'll do that. Because I don't know how we're going to do it on that. Big Fuzzy Panda, hello. How are you doing, buddy? Good to see you. That won't work because it's turned off because we're giving it a month before we announce anything. But there you go. Well done, Danker, for getting that right. We will figure out how we give you a shout out. We'll do that because we didn't think that bit through, but we can give you a shout out on Twitch anyway. Danker's not typed in Twitch chat. I can't remember his name. It's Dankersof. It still won't stop me typing in timeless. That's fine. It's absolutely fine, Big Fuzzy Panda. Let's move swiftly on to something a bit different. This is what they're calling an original JRPG. This was another game that came out last Tuesday, but this is on PC only, but is due to come to other platforms later in the year. This is Quartet. Let's have a look at this. There you go, folks. That is Quartet, which you can get on PC and Mac right now, and will be coming to Switch and PlayStation later this year. So they've gone down the retro route for this one, haven't they, Dave?
Yeah, looks like they're trying to capture the style of the old JRPGs from like the sort of SNES era, reminds me of some of the older Final Fantasies. This one's got a little bit of sort of the Octopath Traveler sort of vibe to it, where you've got a number of heroes that you can start with, all with different starting stories, but then they sort of intertwine into the main narrative. So you've got those 4 that you can pick from, and I think overall you get like 8, and you can mix them into your party however you like. But they just get involved with one of these big political intrigue, stories that's going to affect the world. There's a big villain who's trying to, I think, take control of all the magic that's in the world. They've got to try and stop him. One of those sort of classic JRPGs. Certainly looks quite cool, like the nostalgic visuals. I think there's always quite a lot of players around who like that as well, because we've seen lots of these ones trying to recapture those old vibes. So it looks pretty decent. I'm sure probably a lot of people enjoy playing it. So it's a turn-based RPG. I don't think I mentioned that one. So yeah, it really is like the classics.
Yeah. Andy.
Yeah.
RPGs back in the day.
Back in the day, a little bit. I sometimes get a little bit fed up with turn-based mechanics. I think like I get on with it, and then it ultimately depends on how many flash screens as well that you get. That kind of like they're trying to take you on the narrative journey. I just want to play the game sometimes and just to flick past. So I think as long as they get the balance right, I quite like the fact they've got 20 to 25 hours. It's kind of a nice figure. It's not so long that you'll be there at it crunching away forever in this massive open world thing. But short enough that you probably, hopefully, will sort of resolve itself as well. So, not a massive fan of that kind of retro style, but I like the fact that a lot of people brings back. It's kind of got that cutesy feel to it.
Yeah,
I can almost sort of see my kids playing that kind of game, and in fact, I'd probably encourage them to play more of the retro kind than probably anything that's sort of too high graphic this time around. Because I think it's that's probably a little bit too cinematic. Sometimes it's a bit too immersive. So I think this retro style suits.
Okay. All right. Well, what do we reckon this got, folks? Get your scores in chat. Danker's coming in with an 8.5 for his score. Flame is saying an 8. Let's get your scores in chat. Andy, I'll start with you this time. What do you reckon this got?
What did I'd probably give it a 7. It probably got an 8.
Okay.
Maybe. So I'm going to go 7.5. There you go.
7.5.
In
Okay.
between.
Yeah.
My score and some score I've invented.
Okay. Retro Jesus says an 8 as well for Flame. And Jenny agrees with you, a 7.5 on that one. Dave, what say you?
I'm going to try an 8.
You're going for an 8. Iquel said, I missed the trailer, so I'll give it a 7. So that's fine.
A safe bet.
7, we always call a safe 7. Yeah, if you missed it or you had to pop out the room, that's your safe bet. Okay, folks, last chance. This is Quartet, which came out last Tuesday on PC, but will be coming to, it's also on Mac as well, but it will be coming to Switch and PlayStation a little bit. Oh my God, not many, but I missed it too, 7.5. There you go. Phantom says, Gone Fishing, 7. Flipping it, most people have missed the trailer for this one, but if you get it right, this will be hilarious if you all get this right and you didn't see the trailer. So, folks, without further ado, I can tell you that this got an 8.5.
Wow.
Average.
There you go.
8.5 out of 10.
Right, I'm just going to copy Danker's scores now on.
Yeah, he's normally quite on the money. He does have the odd week where he's off, but he's normally quite good. He's intuitive. Sometimes I think he figures out how I figured out the scores, but then sometimes he goes, whoa, I'm way off on this one. So, yeah, 8.5. So, Danker, we'll get a shout out for Danker again. We'll put it in the Twitch chat, and I will pin something that he posts on the YouTube as well. There you go. I will do that. I will pin that for him. His comment there on the chat, so you can click on his chat and give him a follow on there as well. So there you go. So we give a shout out for Danker in the Twitch chat as well. Greatly appreciated. Here's my Twitch chat. Hang on, let's just refresh that. That's decided to go slow. There you go. That's more like it. That's cool. Right. So let's talk some gaming news. Thank you for the shout outs, mods. Greatly appreciate it. So it's only been a fair few months that the Nintendo Switch 2 has been out. Some people have been doing reviews and saying it's a bit overhyped. It's not really what it should be. And some people are loving it. I'll be honest. I'm actually loving my Switch 2. My only complaint with it is that panel on the back is the most flimsiest piece of crap ever. So if you're trying to put the cables in and put it just keeps falling off, which is annoying. But once you get it on, it does stay on. But there you go. But it has proved to be very, very popular because the Nintendo Switch 2 has literally shifted 2 million units in the last 2 months. This means that it is one of the best and quickest selling consoles, not worldwide, but in the US. And it has now beaten the PlayStation 4, which was one of the quickest selling consoles in America. So it's now beaten that record. Nintendo have said it's even surpassed what they thought it would sell, and it could quickly become one of the fastest selling consoles worldwide, potentially, especially with the build up to Christmas and everything. So not only that, it's surpassed PlayStation 5 as well, obviously, because PlayStation 4 technically sold quicker than PS5. But not only that, Donkey Kong Bonanza, which was the second big Nintendo game, which came out in July, was the third best selling game for the period of July and August. And Mario Kart World, which was the game you either got with a console or bought, is nowhere to be seen in that top 10, which is really intriguing.
Surprising.
Yeah, because it was their lead launch title. But
did it get counted as a sale because it came with a console?
Potentially, it might not have. That's the thing, but we haven't got those figures. Whereas Donkey Kong Bonanza is just a, there you go, and it is, and there you go.
Well,
just to prove.
You've got a new unit. There's not a lot else to play. You buy this thing.
Exactly, because obviously a lot of the stuff that's been coming out for it has been either upgraded versions, one of those games we're going to talk about later, or other games that you can get on other platforms like Cyberpunk and stuff like that. So really, Donkey Kong Bonanza was your second proper official game. I mean, Phantom says, me waiting for Pokemon. I mean, that's what, November, I think, the new Pokemon on Switch 2 and Switch.
I thought it was earlier than that, is it not?
Is it end of October, is it, sometimes?
It's either September or October.
Yeah, it might be October then. I know it's not September. I know that for a fact because I've got the next 5 weeks of talk shows.
Must be October then.
So it's got to be October because I haven't planned that far. But there you go. Yeah, October. There you go. Danker's checked. Thank you. Think we need a new rule. So to make Sophie's life easier. I think we needed a rule that they only get a shout out on the one that they are typing on. That's just Sophie being lazy. But then iCar goes, oh God, the mods are rebelling, people. The mods are rebelling. There you go. There you go. Ems, thank you. The 16th of October is Pokemon, to be precise. So, do we feel, my question to Dave and Andy and chat, do we feel that Nintendo Switch 2, despite some reviews kind of going, oh, well, it's just kind of an upgrade, it's not as good as we expected, which I don't actually believe is true whatsoever. Do we think this will become the fastest selling console of all time worldwide?
It's entirely possible, because as long as they keep good games coming out for it that people are interested in, they want to play, and keep getting all the third party stuff coming over as well, because there's a lot of stuff that couldn't run on the original Switch.
Yeah,
a lot of those players will have missed out, so they can bring that across. That might keep people going, get new people in as well who want something that they can just take out with them, because it is a good console for taking out on the move. It doesn't weigh too much. It's pretty easy to carry. Whereas something like the PC handhelds, like the Steam Deck and ROG Ally, they're starting to get a bit too big to really carry around.
Yeah, you can't put them in your pocket.
No, not at all. But the Switch 2, it's still a fairly reasonable size. Touch bigger than the original one, but still not ridiculous. So I think it's a good one to carry around with you.
And also, how much throttling was there of units available as well? I mean, you looked in a lot of places and it was hardly available for sale because it was just out of stock. Would it be 3 million if they had 3 million units? Would it be 4 million if they had enough units? How much did not having enough units available like PlayStation had as well? Throttle sales.
I think they actually coped with it better than, say, PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X.
Less headlines about that
stockpiled
being an
it
issue.
before release.
Yeah.
Had a lot of stuff to put out there.
Yeah. And I noticed quite quickly that I know there's some people who are regulars on this chat. Some people didn't get it on day of release, but literally within a week or two, places have got restock and they managed to get that. You couldn't get that with, say, the PlayStation 5. I know, obviously, the circumstances were different.
All the scalpers had them on eBay.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think they've dealt with it pretty well. So it makes me wonder whether there is plentiful. It seems to be there's plentiful stock now. You can order them and they're doing bundles of different things. So I can see them doing a lot of good bundles, especially.
And that's a question I've got as well, because we don't have a Switch, but I've got friends who have got Switches. We've got kids. My kids are 5 and 7. Love to get them a bit more into gaming. We were using the Apple TV for a little while, playing some stuff that we saw at EGX, and they were getting on with that. Then that broke, and we've got nothing to replace it with at the minute. But I quite like the fact that if you get a Switch 2, you can probably go to a secondhand gaming place and get a load of Switch games, and hopefully they'll work in the Switch 2.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
and that's got a massive appeal, because I'd be like, I'd probably get a Switch because they'll be too young. It's not really worth the upgrade. Whereas actually, I think, well, I'd be better off with something that's more forward compatible, and also is back compatible. So I think they've done a lot of things right there in terms of making it, have that extra mass appeal, that you're not just going to chuck all this stuff that you've been spending hundreds and thousands of pounds with in the past away in order to get to the next big shiny thing.
Yeah. Danker says it will do. Firstly, the backwards compatibility will gradually improve, and as some previous games have shown, was needed. The second games, despite most choosing key cards over full cartridges, will sway. Once Nintendo improves the SKU of memory capacity. I mean, we've even seen some games that have worked better. So Hogwarts Legacy didn't run very well on a Switch, and it runs so much better on a Switch too. Brian from UK Gaming Network, who's going to be one of our guests at the end of the month. Hello, Brian. How you doing? Said Fast Fusion on the Switch 2 is my game of the year so far. That was one of the launch titles, wasn't it? That came out on the day. I know we very briefly talked about that. Hope you're well, Brian. Good to have you here. So yeah, I think there's a lot more stuff coming out. I know some people are waiting for the new Metroid. There's no dates, but there is a lot of good stuff that's coming. And I think this is another thing. They obviously did the whole thing with the Mario Party, and as we're going to do, I'm going to get that. So that's on the Switch too. But if people want to join in when we're doing the stream of it, people can have it on the normal Switch and join the game, and that's appealing as well. As Andy said, the fact that you've got that compatibility with some of the games people can play online, even though they're on different versions of the Switch console. So I think it will do well. We will see once we get more facts and figures and numbers, especially past the Christmas period, because I think that's when it's going to really sell. I can see that being a big seller.
It's that right level of price point to make it a Christmas gift without it having to be too extreme.
Yeah.
Especially if they bundle a couple of extra games in a Christmas run-up, I think then that will really be the stocking fillers.
And that's the thing. I also think we've got to remember that out of the new console generation, we were talking going back a couple of months that PlayStation 5 is the biggest selling one out of the next gen, but Switch was still outselling the Xbox Series X, the original Switch. And technically the Switch was the older, it was like 3 years older. So I can see this surpassing both Xbox and PlayStation 5. But we will see what happens. Only time will tell. We will see. Let's move on to talking about games that are cross-platform again. Moving on. A game that was originally a superb hit last February last year on PC and PlayStation 5 has now made its way onto Xbox Series X and S. Yes, you can be the savior of humanity when you join the Helldivers. Let's have a look at Helldivers 2.
Freedom. What is it worth? For some, the answer is simple. Everything. As our fiercest foes march towards extinguishing our freedom. Now more than ever, we need more Helldivers. We need more recruits.
Hellpod launch initiated.
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
Will you make the ultimate sacrifice? Now is the time to join the Helldivers.
There you go. So Helldivers 2 comes crashing onto Xbox as of last Tuesday. So anyone who might not be familiar with Helldivers 2, Dave, please do tell us what this is, because let's face it, it's Starship Troopers, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's doing what all the Starship Troopers games should have really done, because none of those have ever been particularly good. But this is just, doing it, and it does it ridiculously well. It's an up to 4-player co-op online shooter, multiple different mission types in it. Your characters just drop onto a planet. You'll go and take out some enemies. Try and launch missiles. Go and try and collect some stuff, and whatever you're doing, you then got to try and extract out. And it's one of those games that, because you're just playing with a group of people, it's kind of, it's not like that any part of it is all janky. It's just kind of the way it's been built. Just silly things kind of happen and things just go wrong. But when they go wrong, it is funny. It does amuse you. Like someone might call in a drop pod or something, and it just ends up landing on you. Or someone might call in and it goes straight through, one of the big bosses and just kills them in one. They might not have planned it that way. It just worked out that way. So it's just got all these just things that happen, but it all just works, and it is quite an entertaining game. It's one that I definitely haven't played enough of. I think I managed to get about like 6 hours in when it came out, and I enjoy what I was playing, but other stuff just comes out. And like most of these types of games, it is one that is better if you're playing it with people
Yeah.
because then you can chat to each other and have a good laugh. I think you can still have plenty of fun in this with randoms, but of course, as I say, better with people But since it's come out, it's had tons and tons of updates to it. So Xbox players are getting in at a good point, Lots of new weapons, balance changes. I think there's been a new faction or two that you end up fighting now.
Yeah.
New mission types. There's a lot of new content in there. Plus for this one, they've got some Halo ODST cosmetics to get if you want, which is quite cool. And I think, even more stuff to come. And, it looks like they are planning to keep this going for a while. And which is good, because it's definitely the best out of Sony's live service push in the last year.
Mm.
Most of that is, just completely, gone tits up. Whereas this one, I don't think they were expecting this one to do as well as it did.
No, and it's been a massive.
Well, and it's still doing well. People are still really enjoying it.
Yeah.
But I think that's the important thing about keeping the momentum going, isn't it? Is to just keep that platform push and coming up. I'm surprised it's not already on the Xbox, to be fair. So it's like wow, why is it taking so long for this to happen? If they really want to keep that going, but I guess it's that extra momentum. This is a game I've seen a lot of people playing online. I was on someone's 24-hour charity thing, and they were playing a load of Helldivers, smoking bugs and taking out robots. And I think, this is basically Starship Troopers, which actually I watched my stepson a couple of weeks ago, so he'd never seen it before. And I went, "Oh, you've got to watch this film with me. You're going to love it." And it's very reminiscent to that. In fact, one of our TEDx speakers is been playing it. I think he's streaming it tonight with 3 or 4 other people.
Oh, really?
They're doing a sort of live Twitch feed. So we've got Neil Newbon, who some of you might know of Baldur's Gate and Resident Evil and various other things. He's got a game that's come out this week. He's playing Helldivers 2 on Twitch today as well. So
nice.
I think it's a lot of people are still playing it, still streaming it, still pushing it. That just says a lot about the game. You want to be able to go down there, shoot a load of stuff, get killed, come straight back, straight into the fray, keep going again. And that's the sort of game that I love. I mean, I tend to play a little bit more of the Enlisted and the War Thunder and that kind of more sort of war type stuff than the robots and the bugs. But I do have Helldivers on my Steam wish list to get at some point. So
you won't regret it if you do play it. You'll probably enjoy it. Trust me on that, Andy. It's great.
Was there Helldivers 1?
It was, but it was a very different type of game. Yeah.
Okay.
Like top down.
That one.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool.
So they took a gamble with this and totally changed the way it is, and it's paid off massively.
Yeah.
But the question is, did it review better or worse or about the same on Xbox? So, folks, get your scores in. Danker's the first one to get his scores in. He said there tends to be a pattern once a game moves to another platform, it scores better. And as Dave said, you are getting all the content straight off the bat, basically. So you're getting all the mechs and other things and other enemies and the vehicles that they added over the last year and a half. But Danker says, with that in mind, I'm going 8.5. We are talking about Helldivers 2 on Xbox, iQuail. Blakey, good evening. Good to see you. Blakey says a 7.5 for this one. No, we are not talking about Halo, Sophie. No, you're trying to trick him. Don't do it. No.
Simulate.
Yeah. That's just mean doing that. Dave, we'll start with you. What did you reckon?
I'm going to see if Danker's theory pays off, so I'll go with the 8.5.
8.5. Okay. Sophie, Sophie's got a point. She said, Dave mentioned Halo, so I win technically. Yes, they have added Halo content. She said, so I win. Go on then, we'll let you off. Flame says an 8. UKGN, Zoidberg says 8. Circus Digi says 8.5. iQual says 8.5. M says 8. So all high scores here. Andy, what do you reckon this got?
I think this is going to be floating on that wave of accolade. I'm going to go for a 9.
Oh, okay. Going for a 9. All right. Halo is just a bad spelling of hello. I mean, you can look at it like that. Folks, a last chance to get your scores in. This is Helldivers 2, which finally came onto Xbox Series X and S as of last Tuesday. And if there are no more guesses in the chat, I wear a halo on my head. Yes, because you are clearly an angel, Sophie. Yes. I can tell you this got exactly the same score as when the PlayStation 5. They said it's exactly just as good as it is. So you're not missing out. 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. So you go. So quite a lot of people got that right. iQuail, well done. Circus, well done. Danker, I think Danker's free for free tonight. So he's doing well. He's doing well. Dave, I forgot what you said now. What did you say?
I said 8.5.
You did? Okay. I'm glad, because I was about to do a whole thing and say, hey, well, we don't give shout outs to Dave in a typical way. So you can do exclamation Dave in chat, because Dave is not a streamer. Exclamation Dave gives Dave a shout out. But we also do a shout out in a different way. And Andy will probably think, what on earth is going on with the show right now? Because, Dave, how would you like your shout out?
Let's go some spinning on the chair.
Okay. All right. The Helldivers 2. I'll make sure I don't knock anything over this time. Right, here we go.
I'm waiting for you to take your shit
This
off
is top quality entertainment, Andy. You'll love this.
there. It
Trust
really
me.
is.
Here we go. Diva!
Very nice.
As long as I don't have to do that, I'm on a sofa.
No, you're
It's not
fine.
going to work very well.
Trust me. I even have to employ a stunt double to do that. So there you go. You just don't see them sit in a chair very quickly. So there you go. Congratulations to everyone who got these right. And I will remind you, folks, please do give everyone a click or follow on the links that are being dropped. Greatly appreciate they spend the time to watch this show week in, week out. So please do go give them a follow back. Yeah, Andy's connection randomly goes now after seeing that. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm not getting involved with this. Goes.
I try and spin around on my sofa and accidentally kick over the router.
Yeah. It's like Andy's house. It's just like everything's been moved around. It's like, what's going on?
I can earthquake.
Yeah. Oh, it's like one of those scenes out of Star Trek when I do all that. Oh, yes. Oh dear. Okay, talking about a game that is jumping from one platform to another, but technically staying with its actual people that own it. We have got a game that I will be streaming in 2 Mondays' time, and I'm looking forward to it because I missed this first time round. This came out 3 years ago, and technically it's getting a little bit of a brush up from jumping from Switch to Switch 2, but they've also added not a new game, but technically you could look at it as a DLC of 12 new levels. So this came out last Thursday on Switch 2, and we're going to be doing something a little bit different with this review because technically it's a bit different. But this is Kirby's and the Forgotten Land and Star-Crossed Worlds. Let's have a look at the trailer for this one. Here we go. So I'm actually really looking forward to this because, as I said, I missed this first time round. So we will be playing this on 2 Mondays' time, live on stream, and we'll try a bit of the main game and a bit of what we technically is add-on content. We can't really call it an extra game because it's 12 levels. But Dave will explain exactly what this package is for Switch 2.
Yeah, well, it's an update for the original game, so it improves the frame rate and the resolution, so it will both look and play nicer. And then the Star-Crossed Worlds bit, it's like an extra story that happens, during the main game. So I think in the expansion, a meteorite hits and causes lots of changes to levels. So as you're going through each of the 5 worlds, in a couple of the levels in each one, you'll find that there's like 2 versions you can play: the original one from the main game, and then a slightly remixed one where it might look like the same level, but it will start to sort of branch off and do different things, do new challenges, new mini bosses and stuff in there. So it's not a huge amount of extra content. I think I've read some reviews say all of it can take about sort of 3 to 4 hours to play through those 12 levels. Yeah. But if you're new to the game, they'll just open it as you play along. If, like me, you've already completed the game, then they'll just appear. You just go back through the worlds and jump into those. I'm tempted to get this because I had a good time playing it back in 2022. Myself and my daughter play through it 2-player. It was good fun then because I was playing through as Kirby. She was playing as one of the Waddle Dees, one of the characters that you're trying to sort of rescue in the original version of the game. And she had fun playing as that character. And it was just a nice, colourful, sort of cheery platformer to play through. Yeah. Not too tricky, to we've got. Honestly, kids can play through it. I think it has got a lower difficulty mode if needs be.
Okay.
But generally, just a nice, fun game. Well made, which is what you expect from Nintendo and their franchises. Yeah. Well made, play as well. No bugs that I can remember in it. Good, just a good game.
Yeah, I'm generally really looking forward to this. As I say,
I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, and also as you said, not a lot of skills needed, so that suits me
to
play this.
Yeah. There's an easy mode there if you need it as well.
Yeah, I probably will, knowing me. Andy, did you ever play any of the Kirby games back in the day? And what do you think of this one now? This is like a more modernised one.
No, I never played any of the Kirby games. I think I probably mentioned Children of the Sun and War Thunder and all my bags. So
yeah, of course.
This one wouldn't leap off the shelf and bag me unless again it was for the kids, because it basically looks like, True and the Rainbow Kingdom on the Netflix in game form, which my kids would love.
Yeah.
So again, I think I love games where you can get them in co-op. I think that works quite well as well when you're actually helping each other through it. So not something I would be playing, but definitely something that looks like it's well constructed. You see a lot of these games. I played loads of demos and lots of things at game jams and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I see similar kind of games, but nothing that looks so expansive like that bit with a roller coaster. And there's just loads of things going on in the background. Often with these kind of games, it's very tight on what you see within the level, whereas this looks like there's a lot of attention being paid to the stuff that's happening in the background as well as in the foreground. So I can see it being very successful.
Now, what we're going to do with this is I'm actually going to ask for 2 scores, because what's interesting is a lot of the reviewers kind of separated Star-Crossed Worlds from it. So they've given kind of a review for the remastered version of the main game and then given a review for the additional content. So you can put 2 scores in for this one. We haven't done this in a long time. I think it was like when we did a Call of Duty review where there was like the multiplayer side and the story campaign side, we did 2 reviews. So that tends to happen. But want to try this. So if you've already put 1 score in, feel free to drop another score in. But let us know. But Danka was saying, I can see this one being an 8. Sticking with an 8 for this one, says Brian. But he says, oh, this could be tricky. Yes. So you can either give it a score overall, or, if you want to give 2 scores, it's fine. As long as you get one of them right, we'll give you a shout out. We're going to be very fair on this. Flame is saying an 8.5. Andy has just posted his. So I was going to ask him, but 8 for the main game and 6 for the additional levels. Retro says an 8. iQuell saying an 8 and a 7. So some people are thinking that the extra levels might not be as good.
Well, I think the fact you've separated them out makes me feel like the levels are maybe not being rated quite so well.
Okay.
Could be.
Wasn't me that did that, by the way. It was quite a lot of reviews, which was interesting. It was interesting to see.
And that now makes me think it's even worse because you're distancing yourself from what they said.
I said 8.5, but then 7.5 for the add-on. Emsy saying 8.5 and an 8. And Flame said 8.5 for the main game, but for the second bit, a 7. Dave, what do you reckon?
I'm going to try an 8 for the main game and a 7 for the levels.
Okay, all right. Folks, last chance to get this in the chat. If any of you get any of them randomly right, we'll give you a shout out. We're going to be very fair on this. My mods are going to kill me for this. But this is Kirby and the Forgotten Land and Star-Crossed Worlds combined, which came out last Thursday on Nintendo Switch 2. And I can tell you that the main game, a bit like Helldivers 2, they've pretty much said nothing has changed. It's still great. It's not worse. It's not better. It's the same. So that gets an 8.5 out of 10 on average. But they have said that they feel that because you can blast through the levels quite quickly in a couple of hours, and the fact that they don't utilize all the powers that you got in the main game, there's some that they seem to favor more.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 7 for the additional levels. 7 for the additional levels. But still, if you've never played any of it, it's worth getting. So for me, it's worth getting. So poor iQuell is going to have to figure this all out. So I'm going to start. I'll sort, because we've got. Let's jump up because Andy basically said. Let's have a look. Andy said 8 and 6. So you just are slightly off on some of those. Dave, you said 7 for the second one, didn't you?
I did.
So we're going to give you a shout out for that. So let me just jump that back on there, and I'm going to leave Iquel to figure out what on earth he's going to do. I will shout out Danker because he again, did he get that spot on? Did he go 8.5?
They got an 8, I think, originally. So.
Oh, was he? So let's have a look. Oh, 8. Yes, he was off on that. But, and he said 7.5 for the add-on. So, yeah, this is the first one he's got wrong. So there you go. So I will let Iquel figure it all out. And there you go. I don't have to do any shout-outs on that. But, Dave, how would you like your second shout-out?
I'll tell you what, you can hide behind your chair and then jump up and scare us.
Jump out. Right, okay. It's not Halloween season yet, but I apologise for this. Watch my knees go crack. Here we go. Oh, yeah, that went right. Okay. Let me know when you're ready, Dave.
Ready, mate? Go for it.
Dave!
Very nice.
There you go. We literally took us seconds to come up with this idea for the show. There you go. Exclamation Dave in chat, like Ems has done as well for doing that. Now, before we move on, obviously, we've been talking to Andy about his career, his new book. By all means, if you want to get a copy of the book like Jenny has done, there is the link right there in the chat. Please do go buy a copy. Thank you, Iquel, for doing all the shout outs. And you can check out, we're going to chuck in the other links for Andy right now, because obviously we've been talking about his company, Game Studio Training. But something amazing is taking place on Monday, which Andy is one of the, if I correctly say, co-organisers of.
Definitely.
And that is that Andy and a number of other people have brought together TEDx to Manchester for the official TEDx Northern Quarter event. And I'm going to bring this up on screen. And it is heavily gaming based, as Andy said earlier. So let's just bring this up. I'm going to go jump back to the homepage for a second. This takes place on Monday.
Monday the 8th.
Yeah, Monday the 8th. An all-day event. And there are literally 9 tickets left, folks. So if you want to get your tickets, there's 9 tickets left. And it also includes an evening part as well, isn't it? As well, there's like a bonus.
Yeah, which you can add on or keep off as well. I'm going to put a coupon code in the chat as well. So
brilliant! Yeah, and I will share that. So if anyone wants to get one of the last 9 tickets, the coupon code is TEDx Final.
It isn't. Sorry, it's TEDx NQ Final. Sorry.
Oh, there you go. TEDx NQ Final. And I will drop that in.
Yes, Caddy's there.
Yeah, there you go. TEDx, hang on, XNQ Final. I'll do that because then that will reach the Twitch chat as well.
Excellent.
So there you go. So everyone's got it. YouTube chat's got it. And so yeah, let's have a quick look at your guest speakers. So you've got Molly Bolshaw for the Short Supply, Nicola Bart from known as the Burmese Python, Joe Brammer, CEO of Bulkhead. Yes, Jim Caddick, as someone noticed, he was like Caddy. Yes. Famous YouTuber, the gentleman that we spoke about earlier who won a Lifetime Achievement Award, Charles Cecil, MBE from Revolution Software. We've got Emma Henderson, airline captain, speaker and author. Mr. Neil Newborn, obviously
never heard of him.
Award-winning actor. Now that's a chef kiss there. We've got Shalini and Christiana, hopefully I've said that right, who are marketing and PR experts. We've got Stephen Morris from the Lego Group. And Guyan, I hope I've said that right, award-winning photographer. We've also got Sam Squire from Inspire to Ignite CIC, Professor Keen West, author of The Science of Racism, Henry White, the creative director of The Sidemen. Yes.
Nobody's ever heard of The Sidemen. They've only got 155 million followers on YouTube. Nobody's heard of The Sidemen, have they?
Who's heard of KSI and The Sidemen? Never heard of them. Never heard of. No, big stuff. Again, big stuff. Obviously, our mate Simran, as you know, who will be on our show next month from the Format Group, and Jess Wiseman, who's a 3D artist. If only I could skive off work, says Danker. But literally 9 tickets left. This is amazing. And all hosted, if I put the team, all hosted by our mate, there's Andy there and the other organisers, by our mate, Mr. Josh Strive-Hayes.
He's going to be our event MC, so he's going to be the voice from the stage, introducing people on and off. And I'm really looking forward to working with Josh as well. Yeah,
he's a great guy. We've seen, we've worked with him last year at Timeless, and obviously he was at Format last year. He's going to be at Format again this year. Great guy. He hosted the Debug Awards this year as well. he's great on stage. We love Josh. Does a cracking job. But yeah, if we quickly show the schedule, obviously you get there, have breakfast and networking, and then there's a number of keynotes. If you want to find out the exact keynotes and see all the talks, you can go more in depth on the website there. Get your first speaker remarks, first session, lunch and networking, live entertainment from the wonderful nerd violinist.
You remember her from I was gonna say if you remember Lucia from Format Before?
Yes.
Awesome. And because she's on just before Neil, she's going to finish on Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, she's going to play some Baldur's Gate 3. That's amazing. That is amazing. And then you've got your afternoon sessions break. And then, as you said, you move on into the evening where you've got a fireside chat with Neil Newborn. So he's on twice, along with a creator chat with Josh, Kadikarus, Henry Wyatt, Jess Wiseman, and then also Charles Cecil. So a number of the guest speakers are coming back to do other talks. And then you're all going to go have a party and have a need.
Exactly. And they'll be hanging around. You can chat to them. You can, they'll be more. Once they've done their talks, they'll be more than happy to interact.
Yeah.
Before their talks, they're going to be like, "Oh my God, what have I got to say?" Because believe me, having done a TEDx myself, I know exactly what they're going for at the moment with 6 days to go. And the talks are only 15 minutes long, but it's like, oh, where am I? How am I going to remember all this stuff? And then I'm on the stage and spotlight's on. I'm on the red dot, and so that's why we've reserved a lot of the kind of meet and greet and chats and all the other stuff till after they've done their talks as well. But yeah, it's a full-on day from 9:30 in the morning till 5 for the main day talk, and then 6 till basically chuck us out at least 10 o'clock for the evening bit with DJs and music and panels and hosts and stuff. We're just gonna have fun in Manchester, basically.
Yeah, it's awesome. The lineup, I have to applaud you, Andy, and the rest of the team. It's a fantastic job what you've done. I think this is going to be fantastic. As I said, I am massively jealous that I can't get there. So I will,
funny you should say that, Danker. Yes.
Yeah. If I know Jim, he would be. Yes. Bless him. Yes. Do you know what? I've never met Jim yet because there's twice where bless him, he's been ill. So, oh God, I shouldn't say this story. He was supposed to be at another event and he got quite ill and he couldn't be at that event. And there was something else a couple of years later. So he'll be there for this one. I shouldn't have brought that story up. I've never got to meet him yet. But no, fantastic guy. So very much looking forward to that. Get your tickets now. There are literally only 9 tickets left. You can use that code TEDxNQ final, and that will get you a discount off tickets.
50% discount.
50%. That's a bargain.
Yeah.
Absolute bargain. So go do it, folks. Go do it. Go check it out. And obviously, I'm going to say this because obviously Andy knows I do a bit of speaking here and there. 15 minutes it is more difficult to do a 15-minute talk than it is a 45-minute keynote. But I want to bring this in because obviously I know, obviously you go on the website, you see there's obviously also speaker trainers that are helping people with their talks as well. But you are an award-winning TEDx speaker. I'm gonna just take this off screen for a second. I want to know, how did that come about? Because that's pretty damn impressive, just that alone as well. So how did that?
So I got to do my TEDx in 2022. So yeah, I was lucky enough just after all the various lockdowns were coming out to get my interest into one that was local to where I am. I live in Lewisham. So I actually did a TEDx in Lewisham up at Goldsmiths University. And yeah, I mean, worked really hard on my TEDx. I had a speaker coach. I mean, thankfully my wife was away in the period of time leading up to when the TEDx was happening, because I was literally walking around the house in the garden doing my work, just saying my talk again and again and again and again, just to try and really get it into that kind of muscle memory and brain memory of this and then this bit and then this bit and this bit. And I guess there's also, because I'm a professional speaker, that probably added that little bit of intensity to it. I better do a bloody good job as well. So I thought, my talk did well. I enjoyed it. And then some people that I know through a network, they run something called the Speaker Awards. So I put my talk into the Speaker Awards along with loads of other people that submitted their TEDx's over that last year. And then went along to the award ceremony, and they called my name out as a finalist. I mean, I got to that point where they're highly commended. So I thought, oh, I haven't got highly commended. Oh well, never mind. Next year I'll try and enter something else. And I got called out as a finalist. Oh shit! Wow, okay. And that's just amazing to be recognised by fellow speakers and agents and bookers and that kind of stuff. And that was in 2023 that I won that. And
That is
for me,
amazing.
you know, it's one saying that you've done a TEDx is a big, you know,
Yeah.
people also think, oh wow, that's like a TED talk, like, you know,
Yeah.
Bill Gates has done that, or
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey, you know, like they associate the, you know, big speakers with the same stage. But to then win that Speaker of the Year as well, has been fantastic. And you know, a number of people like Emma Henson, who's a really good friend of mine. She's the former airline captain. She used to be an EasyJet captain.
Yeah.
And there are fewer female airline captains in the world than there are pandas. You know, amazingly. So she really talks a lot around making that case as to there's no reason why that should be happening. Keon, who's also speaking, he's actually a professor and a psychologist, a sociologist, and does lots around the field of racism. So he's going to be talking about racism as his topic as well. So we've got lots of people outside of the games industry, but at least half those. And like I said, Josh Gadikaris, Simran, Joe, Cecil, Charles Cecil, you know, and lots of other people. So we really want to kind of bring that creative spirit to the Northern Quarter. And the event really came around because Simran and I about a year ago were chatting, and Simran was like, "Oh, I really want to do a TEDx," and like, well, let's just put the event on then. And we applied. Took us a couple of goes to get the license approved and to get it sorted out. And then since that, I need to definitely chat to Simran about the amount of work that it takes to run a city. He's just speaking. The rest of us are organising.
I remember like back in April, he stood up on stage and go, "We're announcing this, da 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 da," and I could see your faces like, "This is amazing." But I mean, fair play. He has got a lot on his plate because he's got a load of other events that he's trying to organise.
Absolutely. And just you know, it's a real team effort to pull this off. And I really appreciate the work the speaker coaches have put in, all of which have done TEDx's themselves. John Torrens, he's ex-Creative Assembly. He's made loads of games. He's you know, he's one of our speaker coaches. He does lots with games companies to help them, you know, have confident conversations and he's done loads of pitching training for indies and all that kind of stuff as well. So really try to get that blend. And we've got Chill Blast. They're one of our sponsors. So they're going to be Joe and the gang are going to be bringing some stuff across. We've got Escape Technology, and they're always great supporters of events that we put on as well. And we've got Nick from Yuki coming and doing the sort of welcome address. So yeah, we tried to make it, you know, interesting for people who like, you know, in our network of games and gamers and creatives, and also for people who just like to go and watch really interesting talks. Yeah,
it's amazing. I want to just say hello to Amanda, who's in chat. Hello. Thank you for joining us. And Iquel's got a quick question before we move on to our next game. I said, what is the difference between a TED Talk and TEDx? Are they related?
So, yeah, they're definitely related. TED is basically the organization, and TED run massive conferences where they get, you know, real top-end, well-known speakers that come and attend the TED conferences. TEDx's are independently organized events. So effectively, anybody could apply to run a TEDx, and then you have to meet their standards. The speakers have to, you know, not you talk about pseudoscience and be research-based, and all of that stuff's got to be, you know, top-end. You've got to video it, and you've got to, you know, do everything you can to put on an amazing event. You have to use volunteers. You can't pay your speakers. Lots of rules around putting it on. But effectively, TEDx's are independently organized by randoms, whereas TED conferences are organized by TED themselves. That then put on these sort of massive mega conferences.
It's really cool. It's almost like saying it is kind of a franchise, but it's not, because there's certain aspects that the way it works. But I know because I've had conversations with Simran, and he was like, flipping heck, there's so many things that we have to abide by, and so many checks, and every little thing's got to be exactly right. And he sounded like he was having a nervous breakdown on the phone.
And it's interesting, you know, to run a TEDx in essence is free if you're doing it as a community event. But if you want to do it as a commercial event, we got quoted $100,000 if we wanted to run one commercially. From that point of view as well. So that's why we've picked Manchester. You know, that's where Simran's based, and that's, you know, it's got a real creative heart to the industry and creative industries generally as well. So yeah, really pleased to hold it and support it up in Manchester. But we're in the fine detail of what wire has to go into which recording device right now, and who what food are we getting at the right time, all that detail stuff,
all that kind of typical event.
You have to get down into the nitty gritty now.
Yeah. And as you said, you've already kind of started planning the next one, so hopefully this will be the first of many.
Definitely.
Hi, Kyle said, "Oh, okay, that's cool. I learned something new today. Thanks."
Every day's a school day.
There you go. So go check it out. Can we have the links again in chat? Please do go check out Andy's book, which I'm putting the link for there, and go check out the TEDx site. If you use that code we posted earlier, you will get 50% off tickets, and there is only 9 tickets left, people. Let's move on with the show because we've got a couple more games to talk about. This came out last Thursday on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And this game is called Nightling.
The Nightling.
PlayStation.
There you go. That is The Nightling, which came out last Thursday on PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. Dave, tell us a little bit more about this one, please.
Yeah, it is a little open world action adventure game with quite a bit of 3D platforming in it. You're playing a character whose mentor is this legendary knight has gone missing in the world, and you're on a quest to try and find him. You've got this magical shield that you're using on your journey, and that is pretty much your toy for everything that you've got to do in the game. You're using it for traverse or combat, puzzle solving. It looks fairly cute from what we can see in the trailer. Quite nice, sort of whimsical sort of graphics to it. Looks okay. From what I saw in a couple of reviews earlier, it sounds like the world's quite fun to explore. The puzzles are quite good. This sounds like the combat can get a little bit samey. We do sometimes see that in some of these games. They can be a little bit basic, and once you onto the 50th bunch of enemies, it's like, oh god, the same moves again and again and again. So I get the idea that that's a little bit iffy, but apart from that, the rest of it sounds like it's quite fun. Decent puzzle solving, decent exploration and platforming there. So it's probably one, if it's not too expensive, probably worth a look. But if it is quite pricey, probably want to wait for a sale perhaps later on.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Andy, your thoughts on this little exploration adventure game that we got here?
Yeah, I think these are all sort of explore the world and try stuff out. It's very similar graphics to a game that I saw from GDLX that I downloaded called Desert Angels, which I quite liked. You sort of roam around, but again, these sort of things, like you say, do get a bit repetitive. You're just doing the same thing in the same way and blowing another set of something or other up to reveal some gems for something. But I quite like the idea of the shield. I got a little bit of Tron vibes going on there. So it's just sort of the new trailer for the new Tron. Tron Ares that sort of remind me a little bit of that, chucking the shield around and getting it back, but then using it for getting across and traversing and the umbrella effect. And so I think they look like they're trying to do something a little bit different with some of the mechanics, which is quite good.
Yeah. Okay. For those who may have only just joined the show, folks, we don't review the games, but we take scores from all the different reviewers, turn it into an average score. So if you want to have a guess, feel free. If you get it right, you will get a shout out in the chat for your channel. Danker's come in, reckons this one's going to get a 7. Brian is saying a 7.5 for this. So get your scores in chat. Dave, I'll start with you on this one.
I'm going to try a 7.5.
7.5. Okay. Flame coming in with an 8. Andy, what do you reckon this one got?
I'm going to go with a 7 for this one.
Go for a 7. All right. Amanda's saying a 7.5. Danker's just said it is £17.59 on Steam, £20 on Xbox, or £25 on PlayStation. Why is it more expensive on PlayStation? That's so weird. But there you go. If you want to get it, that's how much it costs. Retro Shezza says 7. And Icor says, looking forward to the new Tron, especially the 9 Inch Nails soundtrack. There you go. He says, I missed the trailer again, so I'll say 7. There you go. It's because you were talking about the new Tron. That's what it is. And he was bouncing between YouTube and that. Discounts. They are discounted. There are discounts available, apparently. Folks, that is The Nightling, which came out last Thursday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And Ems is saying a 7. And if there are no more scores, I can tell you that if you like the look of this game, then definitely try it, because it gets a certainly safe 7 out of 10. So well done, Andy. Andy's got this one right. Congratulations. Can I have all Andy's links for everything? Go check out his website. Go check out his book. Go buy a copy of the book, just like Jenny did. Go check out. Get your 50% off your tickets for TEDx Northern Quarter. Phantom's just popped in late, but I know she's probably got a bit of lag. So I'll let Phantom have that. Bless her, because I know sometimes she has delay where she's based at. There you go. There's all the links for Andy. Go check them out. Dave Johnson, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Welcome on in, buddy. But I'll let that one slide for Phantom. I'll let that a couple of seconds late, but it's fine. I'm being very nice. I'm in a polite mood tonight. Sometimes I can be a right stickler, but it depends what mood I'm in. But no, it's all good. So congratulations to everyone who got that right. Now, something that we haven't done in a while, we haven't talked about a mobile phone game for quite some time. Dave says, I am now here to cause chaos and ruin Mag's mood. Well, there you go. There you go, Phantom. So I do have lag. See, I know my audience. I know where you're based at. You get lag, so it's all good. So we'll allow that.
I'm only here for the ranting. So carry on, Dave.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. You caught that certain rant, didn't you, from a couple of weeks ago? That's gone down really well, actually, surprisingly. You can see me at other gaming events, just not that one.
That one.
Yeah.
They'll still send you tickets.
They probably will. Try and appease it. Do you know what?
did.
Yeah, they did. I can't believe that is probably going to happen, and it did work with EGX, which is hilarious. I've not said anything bad about EGX this year. I'm not going to do that. I'm hoping to go to the Birmingham one because I can't go to the London one because, again, I'm at some other event in Scotland at the time. But yeah, so hopefully they play nice and they send me tickets for the Birmingham one. But there we go. Maggie's short and Maggie's too loud. Yes, I am. Jessica Fletcher, hello. How you doing? Laugh loud. I arrived at the same time as Dave. I still promise we are not the same person. We proved you are not the same person. We did think that a couple of weeks ago because it was so bizarre. But we know that you are separate people, so it's all good. It's all good. So, something we haven't done. We're not talking about slagging off gaming events. Mobile games. We used to get a bit of flurry of talking about because we also talk about VR games. But last Thursday, Destiny fans get to play Destiny for the first time on iOS and Android on a brand new game in that respect. This is called Destiny Rising. Now, I am going to play the announcement trailer. I'm just going to make you very aware. I'm playing the announcement trailer because the launch trailer, which is what we normally get sent, and I got sent, was a cinematic and had no gameplay. Yeah. So, no offense, I ain't using that. I'm going to use the thing from 10 months ago when the game was announced to give people a better idea of what it looks like. So, this on mobile phone, ladies and gentlemen, is Destiny Rising. Here we go.
is time to embrace your destiny.
There you go, folks. So Destiny finally hits onto mobile phone for Apple and Android. So Dave, tell us a little bit more about this one.
Yeah, so this is I think setting like an alternate timeline of Destiny. So it's kind of like set before the events that you'd see in like the original games, but kind of like an alternate timeline, so they can obviously then go off and do like its own thing. But you still got a lot of the same things that you remember from Destiny. You got the ghosts characters that like little robots that are helping you out. A lot of the same enemy types are going to be there, same species. But I think the main thing is it does look and play like Destiny.
Yeah.
And for a mobile phone game, it does actually look pretty good.
Yeah,
it's quite surprising how good they've managed to sort of capture the look and feel of Destiny to it. And whilst it is generally available on Android and iOS app stores, you can also play it on PC. Because if you go to that website, it listed you can download an emulator for the PC.
Okay,
which lets you play it on there with mouse and keyboard, so you get more normal types of controls. Whereas phones are obviously limited to your touchscreen, which
yeah, of course,
be a little bit iffy. Never been a fan of touchscreen controls myself, but you can also controller up to your phones if you want to. You've got a few options there, but I think the main thing is the look and feel of the gameplay there, which is good. But you have to bear in mind that it is a mobile phone game, and the market and the way they sort of run the games there is quite different because it's set up as a gacha game.
Yeah.
So whilst it is free to play, and you can probably do quite a lot of stuff without paying, I think if you want to get some of the extra characters or better variants of the characters, you've got to pay. You get a loot box that's got a very low percentage chance to get that thing that you want. So there's lots of things there that will cost you money. So you've got to bear that in mind. So you can jump in it if you like the look of it, but careful you don't go too mad with the spending, because it will be there to encourage you to give it all your money. That's what they like to do with these ones.
Yeah. Now, I quite asked a question saying, is this a Sony/Bungie game? And at the start of the trailer, I don't know if you saw it, because only for a brief few seconds, a Circus, and thank you for answering this, Circus, it says it's technically not. It is a NetEase game. So someone else has done this, but used all the things with Bungie's, Bungie have said, yes, you can do this.
Yep.
So it's technically another company doing it. So you might have to take that into consideration. Andy, are you familiar with the whole Destiny?
A little bit with Destiny, but not very much. It'd be interesting to see what the gameplay's like on a mobile phone.
Yeah.
Whether you can use it when you're on the tube. Is it going to be sort of standalone game? I mean, it's 4. I just had a quick look. It's 4 gig in file size. So I'm hoping, it doesn't need you to be connected to the web all the time in order to use it. So I think if you can get a game like that it does allow you to have some good ease of use on it as well. I did notice that the ratings are pretty good on the iOS store, right. So I'll say what they are later. I don't want to steer people's direction, but so it seems to be getting some playtime. It's the sort of thing, free to play, give it a go, see what it's like. Once you start getting looted all over the place and you can't progress, that's when I would then tend to sort of move on to the next game. I think if you've got enough storage and your phone can hack it, then it's probably a good one to give it a go.
If your phone's a bit older, you might find it suddenly turns into a microwave. So be warned.
That's the one, imagine the battery going.
Danka said, "I wish you didn't say that, Andy."
Sorry, you've already put your score in now, though, Danka.
Yeah, but there you go. I'll meet in the middle. He's changed his score because he said, "I'll go a save 7." Then went, "Oh no," because it's obviously not a Bungie thing. It's okay, downgrade 6, and then went, "All right, I'll meet in the middle at 6.5." So chat, get your scores in now. Now, obviously, Andy, you've seen kind of reviews on the mobile site. So what do you reckon this got reviewed at? Have a guess, then.
So I'm going to go 8.5.
8.5. Okay. Circus Digi going with 6.5. Now, Circus is a massive Destiny fan. So Circus is a bit like, oh, no, don't think this is going to cut the mustard. 6.5. Jessica Fletcher did it. 6. Retro Shezza, 7. Flame, 7. Dave, what do you reckon?
I'm going to try an 8.
Going for an 8. Okay. Chat, last chance to get your scores in. This is Destiny Rising, which came out last Thursday on all iOS and Android phones. And I can tell you, Icos says not a clue, maybe an 8. And M's coming in with a 7.4. It's the last few. Oh, you sneaky, you're getting in there just before I'm about to announce it. I can tell you it's got an 8 out of 10. So it's good, people. If you're a Destiny fan and it's not going to blow your phone up, I would recommend you definitely trying it out. So iQuail for a guess. That was excellent. Well done. 8 out of 10 right there.
So on the iOS, it's got 1,300 ratings of 4.9 out of 5.
Damn. So that's even better.
So that's not bad.
That's really
it's
good.
Number 2 in the charts right now.
Yeah. Destiny's massively popular as well. So I can see this doing very, very well.
I think the main games are losing their popularity a bit, so that a lot of people might switch over to this because Destiny 2 is kind of sort of just hanging in there on life support at the moment.
Yeah.
So you might get a few people switching over to this.
So I'm literally downloading it right now.
Nice. There you go. It's so funny because we do get guests on the show. And I went, oh, I like the look of that and that. And we get an email. They went, do you know what? I ended up downloading this or playing this or that because of your show. I was like,
I quite like the idea of an emulator because I am a keyboard and mouse person, really.
Yeah.
Having never, other than playing a lot of Modern Warfare 2 on my PS3, I've pretty much used it as a Blu-ray player. So I've always been a bit more of a keyboard and mouse person.
Yeah. There you go. Circus has got an older phone and she can confirm that she played it and it did drain phone battery quickly. So probably your newer phones. Danka was like, well, I fell for the mobile trap. Icon says the marketing works. Ems goes, wait, can I do shout outs? No, you can't do shout outs. But I'm going to give iQuell his own shout out. And Andy's had shout outs in the chat as well. There, just gone there. So again, check out TEDx. Go check out his website. Go buy a copy of his book. It's all there. iQuail, you got it right. I'll give you a shout out from my end. And we will go on to some. There you go. Ta-da! Done. We will go on to some more gaming news before we talk about the last couple of things. Now, this is a little bit. We've had some good news stories. Now we've got a bad news story. And it might be no surprise to some people because of the news from a couple of weeks ago that we did talk about on this show. But unfortunately, there have been more layoffs at Crystal Dynamics. Now, no specific numbers have been mentioned. Em's already did. That's fine. I don't mind. But they put out a post on LinkedIn to basically state that obviously this was a tough time for them. One of the big projects that they were working on has been pulled away from them and has been closed down. And that project was the Perfect Dark game, the Perfect Dark reboot. Obviously, Microsoft literally shut down. One of the studios that was working on that was part of the Crystal Dynamics. Now, at first, it wasn't clear that whether that was the main factor for why people have been laid off. But then seeing other LinkedIn posts from people that was stating that unfortunately they had been laid off from Crystal Dynamics, they were stating that they were working on that game. The only thing that Crystal Dynamics have said is still intact and is still safe is the brand new Tomb Raider game that they're working on. So they said that these layoffs do not affect that. So it does seem very clear that because of Microsoft's decision to cancel the Perfect Dark game, that has had a big knock-on effect on Crystal Dynamics. I want your thoughts because, again, chat, Dave, Andy, your thoughts on this because obviously, again, more and more layoffs. We keep seeing this. It seems to be a recurring theme. We talk about on the show a lot. It's never good to see that people are losing their jobs. But do you feel that this does feel that this one was totally out of their control in a way because obviously Crystal Dynamics were kind of working with, I can't remember the name of the company that were actually took over because the story of Perfect Dark was they announced it quite a few years back ago. And then the company that were running it, Microsoft didn't like the game.
Here's the initiative you're thinking of.
Yeah, so it's the initiative. So they basically brought the initiative in, reworked it from the ground up. We saw footage of it last year. It looked promising. And then they've shut it completely down. So it feels like it's very much an outside factor that's had a knock-on effect with this.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I work with a number of studios, and some of them are very much this workforce is making this game. So therefore, if you're a co-dev or a studio and your publisher, knocks that thing on the head, or finance pools or whatever it is, studios have to keep surviving. And so therefore, if that asset, that person is working on this game and that's what their role is, then unless the studio is large enough and has enough coffers to be able to basically put people on the back burner for a while to then they find themselves another role, then it's really difficult for studios to be able to afford to do that. I have worked in studios where that has happened. And, thankfully those studios have been big enough to ride the waves. But I know that, a number of those studios, when they had, half a dozen of those things happening, suddenly you then got dozens of people who are basically game jamming, doing stuff, aren't able to be deployed on active games. You've got people in biz dev trying to get new work in. It can be very fraught in those studios when those things happen. So it kind of depends on the size of it, how much funding it's got in the background. People are, generally, in most studios, I don't believe that people are just going, oh, well, we're just going to get rid of a load of people. But when you get the higher up stuff who are making billions in profit and they start shutting stuff down left, right and center, I get a lot more cynical about that being a spreadsheet move than maybe these studios are working on a specific project who are having to basically keep the rest of their projects running, the company running. I mean, as a company director, you can't trade insolvently. You can't sit there with tens, hundreds of thousands of pounds on your payroll that you're expected to pay out because you've employed these people. So all that you can do at that point is often sort of lay off people. But then then they get accused of being cynical because if they get another bit of work in, they have to bring people back in.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
they can only make the decision based on what they know at that moment in time. And that's always the key point that people necessarily don't understand, because in 2 weeks' time it could change, but it might get worse or might have gotten worse in 2 weeks' time. So I think from a studio head perspective, I think people are generally making that decision just on what they know right now.
That's true. Fury. Hello, Fury. Fury's joined us. Good to see you again. Fury says, hello. And I see today it came to the surface. They were trying to get Take Two to take Perfect Dark on, but it fell through at the 11th hour. And that was the final nail in the coffin, unfortunately. That's a shame. That game had a lot of potential. I was so looking forward to that. Dave, any other thoughts on this before we move on?
I think Andy's covered most of it. I mean, it is a shame to see all these people let go, but as you're saying, if the deal falls through, you just can't have those people sitting around. Sadly, you've got to unfortunately get rid of them. Hopefully, some of them will find jobs elsewhere, or maybe some of them did get moved into roles to help out with the Tomb Raider game. Hopefully, that'll actually turn out well. But I think the problem with AAA at the moment is the games are costing too damn much, and all the studios are playing the safe bets. So looking at stuff like Perfect Dark, which, let's face it, it's a 2-game series. It's had one good entry.
Good game.
One was abysmal.
Yeah,
it's not a big franchise. Most people probably don't know anything about it.
I could believe it when I was hearing that GTA 6 is going to cost $2 billion.
Yeah,
that just
billion
money though, so they can.
I know they'll print it. They'll print it the other end, but it's just
it's a ridiculous
to make a game.
It's like it's costing more than most Hollywood summer blockbusters these days. It's insane. Like some of the Hollywood,
that would be the entire film budget for 2 years.
Like you're literally like some of the bigger name films this summer have not even hit a 500 million budget, or like that, and you're thinking, so that's 4 Hollywood blockbusters and then some in pocket change. It's like it makes your mind go crazy that is happening. But
when you throw that amount of money around, you've got to go for the safe bets, haven't you? They're going to bring it back in.
Of course,
you're going to end up tanking your studio.
I mean, hopefully there are so many resources out there. Satvan's got loads of stuff out there. There's lots of there's careers weeks. There's game information. I'm on a careers week with Snappy Gurus this time around. That's giving lots of support and resources. There's people doing CV edits for free. There are mentors. You've got Limit Break. Honestly, just ask for help. Your network is your net worth. You know, that's always a good thing. So immediately something happens like that, just put it out there into the people that you know, build up that network. That's why it's really important to get yourself out to networking events, build up a network.
Yeah.
You never know when you might need it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. You never know when that opportunity is going to land. It's so true.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, it's perfect.
And I sold a book.
Yeah.
Worth it.
You can find about it. Get your copy now. There you go. Hang on. Do you know what? As you just said, wait for it. As if by magic. There's a link. There you go. Right. Moving on to our final 2 games of the night. This was a game that actually got delayed. We were going to cover it earlier in the year, and then it got delayed. And because it's now come out, it's in such a busy month, I can't put any time to it. But this came out on Friday for PS5 and PC. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Lost Soul Aside. Let's have a look at this.
When this terrible scourge falls upon us, will humanity fall? Or against all odds, can we survive once again?
Even if fear grips me, I must push forward on this path.
I can grant you power enough to escape this place together.
Hazer!
It's not over yet.
I will stop Aramon.
Once you step through this door, anything could happen, Kaiser. Are you ready?
PlayStation.
There you go. Lost Soul Aside, which came out on Friday on PlayStation and PC. This is giving me vibes of Final Fantasy meets God, basically sort of Elden Ring and Dark Souls vibes. Dave, am I kind of arcing in the right direction?
I don't think it's really got much Souls-like energy to it, but it is definitely, giving you vibes of the more recent Final Fantasies. Especially like 15 and 16 with the real-time combat. I think that the combat's quite inspired by stuff like Devil May Cry.
It's just more hack and slash.
Yeah, and a bit of Bayonetta. It is also inspired by Final Fantasy 15 as well. So it's going to like fast combo-driven action. It certainly looks okay. I think story-wise, this one, it's one of those ones where your world's been invaded by some alien race. For whatever reason, they've kidnapped your sister. Your character then joins forces with another entity. You get that entity's powers, use them to fight back and try and like save your sister, destroy the alien invaders, and save the world.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, that sort of Final Fantasy
journey
RPG story.
Yeah.
One review I saw said the combat and stuff is good, but the story just really didn't make a hell of a lot of sense to them.
Okay.
The characters are just spitting out words. Whether it is like that, I don't know. I can only go what the review said that I watched. So I think it's one if you just want to sort of go in for a good bit of combat, some good looking worlds to explore. It's probably quite fun. I think if it's like a really sort of in-depth narrative, it might not be the best game for that.
Okay.
Probably all right if it was in a sale, maybe.
Okay. Dank says it does look good. I did hear it needed a day one patch. There's a few copies got out early and it apparently wasn't running very well. John Unicycle, hello. He says, I'm late, but hi. Hi. Thanks for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. Jessica says, sound like Mulder's story. See, Dave got that. And that went over my head, but
X-Files.
Yeah, X-Files. Oh, yeah. Actually, you're right. Now you said that, you're right. That was the whole point. He was looking for his sister for all the... Yeah, oh, God, I forgot about that. There you go. Sorry, just got the brain firing again. Andy, your thoughts on this one?
I mean, it sounds like a hack and slash with a barely contrived story around it, and you probably have a good bit of fun for a while. Will you finish it? I guess is the answer. It depends on how much it sort of holds you for the rest of it, really, isn't it? So
yeah.
I think these have a place. It's very anime style, but I'm not sure I'll be rushing out to download that one.
No, do you know what? It's funny. It's one of those at the start of the year, I was kind of like, I'm really considering playing this. And as time went on, and I think as it got delayed, I kind of went, because we got so many games to cover this month, because there's lots of big name games coming out. I was like, something's got to give. And this was quite an easy one to just go, I don't think I'm going to cover this. but obviously wanted to talk about it on the talk show. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those that I don't know. Maybe if it turned up on PS Plus, I might give it a go. But I can't see me buying it.
It's on PS Plus in a quiet part of next year. Yeah,
I might try it.
Yeah.
But then again, I may never play it ever. I don't know. It's a funny one.
Else, isn't there?
Yeah, Drawn Unicycle. We are talking about Lost Soul Aside, which came out on Friday on PS5 and PC. So get your scores in. Danka is saying a 6 out of 10 for this one. Okay. Dave, I'll start with you. What do you reckon this got? Chat, get your scores in.
I'm going to try a safe 7.
Safe 7. Retro Shredder is agreeing with you. Going for a safe 7 as well. Flame is going in between those scores, a 6.5. M's going a little bit higher with a 7.5. John Newsguy says, I saw that in Walmart. If it's on sale, maybe you want to get it. But if it's not, we'll see. We'll see what the score is. Andy?
I think I'll go safe 7 as well.
Okay, go for a safe 7.
It looked nice, so
it did look good graphically. It looked good. Iquel going for a safe 7. Drawn's going for a safe 7. Any more, folks? Any more? This is Lost Soul Aside, which came out on PS5 and PC last Friday. And if there are no other scores in chat, someone's always tries to sneak a score in. I'm going to tell you, I'm kind of glad I passed up on this. It's not a bad game, but it's certainly an okay game at a 6 out of 10 on average. So it did get some scores worse than that. Not everyone's loving it. So in some ways, I'm kind of glad I passed up on it. So there you go, because I might not have enjoyed it. So we'll see. But 6 out of 10. Yeah, Drawn says, oh, wow, ouch. Yeah. He says, I wish I saw the trailer because the cover looks like my kind of game. It might still be. It's not bad. It's good. So take it for that. Right? Okay. So go try it. As I say, you might like it more than the critics say. This is why I say you might agree with the scores, you might not. Everyone's opinion is different. So don't hold us to that. But they said it was a 6 out of 10. And our last game of the night, Danka says, give it time. There you go. Yeah. We're going to go for something a little bit more on the spooky side and family-friendly side, because on Friday, also on PS5, Xbox Series X and S and PC, a new Goosebumps game came out based on the R.L. Stine books. And this is Goosebumps Terror in the Creek. Here goes.
Goosebumps Terror in Little Creek.
There have been some unsettling sightings at the church and graveyard recently.
Get wrapped up in a brand new mystery.
There's something really strange about those statues. I don't like it.
The answer lies deep within the museum. Venture there to find the answers you seek.
Oh, is this book calling to me? Oh, nifty.
Help me, please!
How did you end up inside of a mirror? Hold down the fort here while I go hunt on the mask. Nice! Let's just go put this mask on the mannequin and get this show on the road.
Dare to uncover the truth.
Okay, that was officially weird.
And don't forget your flashlight.
Oh, if there is a monster, it's definitely coming for us now.
Step into the story.
Fastest slingshot in the West.
Goosebumps. Terror in Little Creek. Available now.
There you go. A bit of spooky fun for the family. Viewers beware, you're in for a scare. There you go. I love Goosebumps as a kid. Do you know what? I never read the books, but I have seen the 2 movies. One of the movies is really good. One of the movies is not. A bit like that. Perfect Dark Games. It looks like Scooby-Doo meets Lego Friends. It could be. It could be. Goosebumps nostalgia. Tell us a little bit more about this, because this is one of many Goosebumps games that is out there, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, it's not a series I've followed at all. I don't think I ever read the books, so I can't say I've seen the movies. But yeah, this is inspired by all of those. It's a kid-friendly survival horror game, so all the family can join in. I think in this one, your character Sloan is investigating strange goings on in the town of Little Creek. So you're going to come across various monsters in there, lots of other characters. Probably going to be lots of nods to characters and monsters from the books in the movie.
Yeah.
Lots of Easter eggs referencing things that have happened in those. Looks okay. Graphical style's all right. Nothing remarkable. I think it's probably just only really going to appeal to people who know what Goosebumps is and they've got some nostalgia for it. Because I say I've never read it or seen it, so to me, I could easily just skip this one, no problem. But fans of it will probably get something out of it.
Yeah, that's good. Andy, you familiar with the Goosebumps franchise?
No, actually not. But quite interesting. Although all that crouching made me feel like I was going to get a really bad back watching it. It's like stand up and walk around rather than that crouching. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the sort of puzzly things from like Indiana Jones and some of those kind of original Monkey Island.
Yeah,
it kind of had that feel to it as well. But I really get that sort of Lego Friends meet Scooby Doo vibe as well. So I think that's quite interesting. Looks interesting enough. Probably a little bit too scary for my 5 and 7 year olds at the moment. But maybe into that sort of teenager sort of age is probably going to be quite good fun for them to interact and I quite like the idea of the puzzle solving. Although probably like most trailers, it looks like it's probably giving you the answer to most of those things by watching the trailer. So.
It's been looking up on YouTube and you go, I don't even have to look at that.
You just do C, D, E, F,
Yeah. A couple of people have already dropped scores in for this one. Drawn says 6.5 for this one. Danker's saying a 7. Andy, I'll start with you on this one for the last game of the night. What do you reckon this might have got?
I'm going to go 7. It looks like it's got probably quite interesting puzzle elements. So
yeah. Okay, 7 out of 10 for Andy. Chat, get your scores in. This is Goosebumps Terror in Little Creek, which came out last Friday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. iQuell saying a 6. Flame saying a 7 as well. Dave, what say you?
I'll try a 6.5.
6.5, so you kind of go in the middle ground of everyone else. Okay. Last chance, chat, to get some shout-outs. 6, but I'm hoping for more. Well, we'll see. We shall see. Because I can tell you that for our last game of the night, this is not so scary. Oh, M's just coming in with a 7. Just coming in with a 7. This is not so scary because this got a perfectly acceptable 7. Hey, so well done, Andy. Another one you got right. He did flying. Andy was worried that he wasn't going to, he's like, oh, no, I don't know enough about the games this week, but he's done well. You've done good. You've done good. There you go. Close one. Ems, well done. You got that in just in time. Flame, congratulations. You got that right as well. Danker, you got that as well. Danker's done pretty well. I think you've pretty much either got, did you get 7 out of 8 or 6 out of 8? Dave Johnson says, Andy is cheating, Mag. I bet he's in cahoots with iQuail and Dave. Well, Dave didn't get it right. He said 6.5.
Yeah.
So then that theory's out the window, isn't it? There you go. That's my manager, ladies and gentlemen. He likes to accuse people of things. There you go. I said in cahoots. Doesn't mean he... Anyway, go back to your buckets, Dave. Go back to your buckets.
Being fed the answers in the private chat.
Yeah. You'd have to be in cahoots with me because I'm the only one who knows the scores because Dave doesn't know them either. I don't tell him. He says, cahoots, I knew it. Oh, that's no proof of anything. But there you go. There, folks. Walking Lo-Fi says, hi, Andy. How you doing? There you go. And if you want to see more of Andy, there is his website. There is a link to his book. Go buy his book right now. It's fantastic. And if you want to go to the TEDx event on Monday in Manchester, click that link. There are only 9 tickets left. And
we'll put the code in there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Simran as well, who's watching.
Yeah. Hello, Simran. Is that who Walking Lo-Fi is? Or is that someone else? It might be. If Simran's watching, he's probably he does watch. I know he does watch. So there we go. No, Walking Lo-Fi is not Simran. Sorry. He said, but his book is really fantastic. There you go. Welcome back, Circus. We will put the links in. Let me get the code again. In fact, Andy, if you drop them in. Tom Fum, hello. Totally not Simran. Okay. Yo, Mags, what's good, dude? Been lurking most of the night, but I'm free now. Hope you're well. That's cool. Good to see you here. I'm glad you've been watching the show. Appreciate all the people, even if you're not in chat and you're lurking and watching the show. There you go. TEDx NQ final gets you 50% off the tickets. TEDx NQ final. I am going to copy that again, if it allow me to. In fact, I'll just chuck that up on screen for now. There you go. That's even easier. I bet Simran is helping Andy cheat. Oh, shush, Dave. Shush.
We all cheat round here.
Yeah.
232 shows in.
Yeah.
I do it properly
no,
anymore.
No one's noticed. 232 shows. Yeah. Shush, Dave. Yeah. Show's been good. Thank you, Phantom. But there you go. There is the code. There is the code, folks. I'm going to put it in so it also goes off to the not just the YouTube chat, but also boom, the Twitch chat. No cheaters here, just tigers. Boom, boom, boom. Danker is here all week. There you go. Final bit. We're going to breeze through this because we are running a little bit late, but we're going to breeze through this. So the rumor mill has been turning, ladies and gentlemen, because yes, the PS6 rumors are already out. Can you believe it? Because of the fact that people are saying, well, the battle time between the PS4 and PS5 came out. We're now already halfway over that mark. Can you believe it? We're in the next gen and we're already halfway over the mark of the next gen consoles. That's crazy. And Walking Lofos says, I only got a PS5 last year. I know, this is what's sad. Dave says, I let Simran off because he's the loveliest human. Well, there you go. Dave. There you go. I only got my PS5 2 months ago, says Tom Fun. Well, PS6 rumors are out because allegedly it's going to be out in the next couple of years. But the rumors are, and take these with a pinch of salt because they are rumors. And Sony execs, when asked about this, didn't comment, but stated that they are working on something. The rumors are it is going to be a handheld console. It's going to be a handheld Sony console that has a docking station. So very similar to a Nintendo Switch. But it will have backwards compatibility for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. And there is going to be 3 versions of this PlayStation 6. There is a standalone handheld version. There is a handheld version that comes with a docking station, or there is a more sort of console version. And the prices will range between $300 and $500 for the most expensive base version. But it basically means it is going to be cheaper, if this is true, than the new Xbox handheld ROG Ally X or Ally X console. They're also saying that the mid version, which has got the docking station, is the equivalent. There is PlayStation's first equivalent of an Xbox Series S. So it's a slightly cheaper version that does less. And then you can pay £200 or $200 more to get like a super duper one. Or you can just have this handheld thing. So they're doing combinations. As I said, this is rumor mills, but it has come from sources that are generally quite reliable through all the different news stations. So chances are some of this is probably right. But seeing as that, like, they brought out the PS5 and now they've brought out the PS5 Pro, and we had the PS Portal, which some people love, some people don't. I'm on the side of, I think it's pointless. But this feels like they are going down another route. But seeing that PlayStation are currently kind of winning the console wars, they might not do if the Switch 2 completely takes over. Is this going to be, the next step that you now giving you more choice? Because you can have a big super duper console that runs like a PC. You can have a mid-tier one because you're not that fussed about fancy graphics. Or you can have your handheld and take it out and play it and chuck it in a dock. What do we think, gents?
I don't know. I always think it must be a bit of a pain for like the game devs when you've now got to target multiple SKUs for a console. At the moment, PS5 is just the same, whether it's I suppose you've got the Pro, but it's not too dissimilar. But originally you just had the PS5, whether it was disc or digital, it was the same thing. You just targeted that, your game worked on it, fine. But we've seen a few cases where the Xbox with their S version, a few devs have had issues trying to get stuff working on that. Baldur's Gate 3 was the main one with the co-op. Really struggled with that. I think they even just stuffed it off in the end. I don't know if they ever got it working on there. But I always think it's a pain that you've got to do that, because then you can't really make your game that's only going to target, the main hardware. You've got to target that lower hardware. And if they do a handheld, it would end up being quite low spec compared to the main console, because you got to think a handheld, to try and run something at that power, you'd have to, it would just drain the battery in minutes, wouldn't it? You've got to think about getting rid of the heat that it would generate. So it would end up being quite hampered in some ways, I would say. So I'll be interested to see what they actually do. But in all honesty, I'd rather they didn't do a handheld, or they just focus on one single console SKU that is nice and powerful, and we'll see what they come out with. Because as you see with these rumors, they say, oh, such and such CPU and GPU and RAM, but all the numbers mean nothing because you actually see what they can do on the thing and see what the games look like. So when they actually do that, we can see what it looks like. Probably got more to say, but we'll probably guess that what we get in the next gen's consoles will look like what we've already got for the high-end PC market at the moment. So it won't look that different, because as with most hardware updates these days, they're actually quite boring. They're just iterations, just slight improvements on what we've already seen. That was all they seem to be at the moment, which is a bit sad.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to get any major leaps. Not like when we went from NES to SNES or SNES to N64.
Yeah, which is a massive leap up.
Consoles can do. Now they're just minor iterations.
No, I'm good. Just before I ask Andy's opinions, a couple of comments in the chat. The only reason I'd get a Switch 2 right now is because of Mario Kart World. Never been much of a Donkey Kong fan, and they're releasing Pokemon on both Switch and Switch 2. That's true. So you don't need a Switch 2 to play the new Pokemon game if you've got the original Switch. Will it have physical games? That is a good question, because physical games seem to be getting phased out more and more. And sometimes you go into a gaming shop and you think you bought a physical copy and you open it up and there's a digital code in there. So that's another thing. We will have to see what happens.
I'd say a handheld console. No, it wouldn't have physical games.
No, it wouldn't. It will be download only. Handheld at best, based on my Ally battery life, is 2 hours. PlayStation and Xbox handheld need to compare to Steam Deck and Switch. Think handhelds massively cripple your market reach. I'd never buy a handheld console person. Now, the other thing I'm going to put out a bit before I ask Andy is PlayStation are also notorious for not backing up some of their hardware and following it up and giving it the support it needs. The PS Vita, anyone? PlayStation VR 2, anyone? There's the most recent one. They really hyped it up and then brought it out and then did nothing with it. And it does worry me that if they do a handheld thing, it could be the same. Andy, your final thoughts before we wrap up this show?
I think a lot of this can be marketing froth as well, isn't it? Like, let's chuck this message out there and see what lands, see what people think about it. If it's getting dissed before we've even actually decided what we're doing, then we won't even bother taking the project that way. Yeah. But like you say, the amount of things that get made and then not supported, at least if you've got PS4, PS5 at the moment, you can still be playing games. Some people have only bought it a couple of months ago, some people 4 years ago. You can still play everything. And the point of a console usually is it sits in the corner and it's just a very specific PC for playing games on. Or it does a job. If you start trying to make it to do lots of jobs, 400 or 500 quid taking a console out, makes it nice and easy to nick and everybody have access to all your stuff. But then you might as well just use your mobile phone for it as well, because probably 2 or 3 years time where I'll be on Apple iPhone 18 or whatever, that'll be even more powerful, have even more memory. It feels like you're trying to go into battle with people that are just already way ahead from that point of view. Stick to doing what you're doing really well, make it easy for devs to make the games, and then you get people focused on the platforms, subscriptions, stores from that point of view, and just make a really good console for people to use.
There you go. I'm 80% PC gamer, so I'm easy either way. Let them come out with these things. Makes no difference to Tom. No difference to Tom. Well, there you go, folks. That is our show. Apologies, we've overrun slightly, but that is our show for this week. Next week, our guest will be a wonderful streamer who is a good mate with our friend, Mr. Oddtrots. It is Arkham Fan will be on this show, and we will have games like Hell is Loose and Kronos The New Dawn to talk about, which all come out this week, plus all the latest game news, as always. I would like to say a massive thank you to our wonderful guest, the award-winning TEDx speaker, Mr. Andy Coley. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you very much.
Pleasure to be here.
I wish you all the best with the TEDx event on Monday.
Yes.
And I hopefully will see you. I guess I'm next going to see you maybe at one of the format events, hopefully.
Yeah, I'll see you at format in October. Yep.
Okay, amazing. We were there. We're doing some timeless stuff with Simran, some which I can't talk about yet, but because we've got a big meeting tomorrow. But that will be there, so we'll be seeing there. So you'll get to see, if you go into format, you'll see Andy there. Again, can we get all Andy's links in? Go get his book. Go get those Go get those tickets. There's literally only 9 left for Monday. It's such a fabulous lineup. Thank you so much for being on the show, Andy. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Hope it wasn't as scary as you might.
It's all good.
Oh, good. We can get you back on next year then. That's all good. We'll get you back on next year. Dave, as always, thank you so much for being the co-host that knows the most.
Always a pleasure, mate.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to all my mods in the chat. And I suppose Dave Buckets Johnson for basically just shouting at people, I guess. Thank you to everyone. As I said, this was an experiment. First time we've ever streamed to YouTube as well. So thank you to everyone who's been on YouTube watching us. And thank you to all the regular viewers that are on Twitch. We are now going to go raid out. Don't forget, I am back on tomorrow on TikTok and Twitch playing the brand new Shinobi game. So there's a blast from the past, but we've got the brand new Shinobi game, which got a 9 out of 10 on last week's show. So that's quality. It was one of the best rated games of last week. So let's go see who we can raid. So send our wonderful audience over to someone else. And then we will wrap things up. So quickly wait for this to load. I hate when my stream deck just decides to go, oh, do it 1 by 1 square. It's not helpful. I'll tell you what, someone that do you know what? I'll tell you who can raid. A wonderful gentleman that we had on the show a couple of months ago. And literally I did a podcast for, which literally went out this week. You may have seen the clips. The wonderful retro gamer, Mr. Johnny Beard is on. And Johnny is playing, because he loves his retro games. He is playing Resident Evil 2. Knowing him, he's probably speed running it. So we are going to go raid the wonderful Johnny Beard. He's an absolute gent. So that raid will start once the end credits have rolled. So hopefully that kicks off. For the viewers on YouTube, the stream will just end, but you can watch it on. There you go. It was okay. I couldn't get on with Shinobi. Oh, really? Interesting. I'll see what my thoughts are tomorrow on it. I'll see you later, and good night all. Thank you so much. And all that leaves for me to say is, wherever you are watching this in the world, have a great morning, great afternoon, or great evening, and I shall see you back tomorrow at 8:30 from Shinobi. So from us all here, thank you very much. Good night.
See you later.
See ya.